So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Hey.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny.
Hot, hot, hot. Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Kick it.
Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Get a mic, you get a mic, you get a mic. Hey. So are we using real names, club names, or how you make the world famous names? What are we doing today?
Man, let's use real names. I'm feeling a little bit different going into 2026.
Okay, popping the collar. Go ahead and tell the world your real name.
So yes, my real name is Nel Famous.
So wait a minute, Ronell?
Ronell.
Just when you thought you knew a person. Like
Just when you thought. Not so many people know that. Everybody call me Nel now, but the R, I'm still R strong, Ronell.
I love it. And you know, it's always great to see you out and about. I'll see you like you're floating in and then you'll float right back out. And then next thing you know, you have like this big production. And I'm thinking to myself, Nel didn't have enough time between that glimpse of when I saw him to capture all of this and create a movie. Like, I don't understand the thought process. And I really wanted to catch up with you because I'm always inspired by other creatives, the ones that can take the story, create a narrative that we're all looking at, but show us different perspectives. How did you know you wanted to get behind the lens and start crafting the art of storytelling?
It was really an accident.
Stop.
It was an accident, all accident. Really the Pat guy laid out. I actually went to college for architecture.
Okay.
So yes, I'm from the country. My grandfather was a carpenter, and I used to always do things with my hands growing up. So the decision of me going to college for architect, I wanted to do the back end behind the carpentry, like the design process, the creative process.
Right.
But also when I got to LSU during this COVID time, it was like very different. Didn't have people on campus, so I ended up coming meeting Nard at the gym, saying the things he do.
Right. Another creative genius.
Yes, learned a lot from Nard, and ultimately he did everything himself, like editing, shooting, training. So ultimately I started picking up the camera from that, and I realized I didn't like architecture. I love the creative behind architecture.
Okay.
So from that, I started making my own workout videos, push-ups, handstands.
Hold on, Neil, before you even get that far. Now, going to school for architecture and then having to come back and explain to your family. You know what I mean? Because there's always a process within the process.
This is true.
I understand it. But people got questions that need answers. And when you went home and said, hey, guys, listen, let's talk about this. This is what we're doing now. What was that conversation like?
It wasn't the best. My family is very traditional. My mom graduated with her master's from Southern University. She got a licensed counselor, and my aunt did the same process. And my grandparents, in their mind, they did all the sacrifices in their life to put everyone through college.
Right.
So ultimately, Nard was actually the first, because Nard is my uncle. He was the first one to break that system.
You got a really cool uncle, man. Can we just start there?
This is true. He was a great mentor coming in. Like, he showed me, he made that process a lot easier. Because seeing him go through it made me realize that I can go through it and like deal with family, because it wasn't the easiest process. Even to this day, they always slide that question in, when you going back to finish college.
And to be there, so it's not a no, it's just a, I'm going to get to it if that's what your heart leads you to do.
Right.
But see, I wanted to ask that because sometimes people will feel pressured to do things because of certain expectations, certain roles that people expect us to play. And if it's not a good fit, if it's not our destiny, if it's not our journey, some people may be feeling as if they're held captive or feel as if they find a level of misery there, right? But you got to be transparent enough to tell people that it wasn't easy. It wasn't just a me thing. And here we are. This is how we got here.
This is true.
Because you're a really great shiny version of it. But man, listen.
Glory to God, truly. Glory to God, truly. I always reflect back on the process like he brought me through, because people don't see the growing pains. They only see the end version. And like, yes, I had to go through a lot of adversity. Family not believing in me in that sense was very tough.
Yeah.
But through that, I gained strength. One thing I held on to: don't tell everyone your vision, because God didn't give that person your vision for a reason.
That's vision versus sight.
Correct. Vision
They'll
versus
see
sight.
what they can see, but God gave you something that's beyond others' expectations, others' view, others' perspectives, because it's not theirs.
Right, not theirs. And now my family look back on me and they're a lot more comfortable now than it was before, and they're slowly adapting to changing the world because the world is not the same it was 20 years ago. We have AI now. Trades are looking more desirable than degrees now with all the technology coming. So y'all got to be willing to adapt. If you don't adapt, you get left behind. So long as you have that mindset to adapt no matter what and trust in God, it works out.
And I absolutely love the fact that you do have a support system, even within your clientele, but building that clientele to make sure that it's sustainable as an entrepreneur. There are some learning curves with that. You got this vision in 2020, life looked different as outside was shut down. How did you even get from the creative side to putting it down into a plan to turn this into a business that would make sense?
It all came from trial and error. Many mistakes was made along this journey. But one thing that I always stay true to is myself.
Okay.
On this path, you gotta take what you can from mentors. So they have good advice, but also they have bad advice too. A lot of people will tell you have to do bad things to get to the top, or certain things to get to the top. But this whole journey, I stayed true to myself all the way. So I still don't drink and smoke to this day.
Right. Same.
Despite I love that. Despite the environments I've been around in the beginning, because I started off in rap and party culture.
Yeah.
Not because I wanted to, but because I didn't have any resume. I had to start off somewhere. But when I got the ability to finally branch out, when it came to the politicians and the actors, I took that chance, and now I'm completely retired from the rap industry and don't do those clienteles anymore.
You know, I want to talk about the level of responsibility that you have with the art of storytelling. When you said politicians, you know, we live in a climate to where if you're not telling the story the way people want to hear it, you instantly become the devil. If your moral compass skews a little differently than theirs, right? So when you're picking and choosing which clients you're going to work with and you want it to be as authentic and true to their messaging, how is it that you let your brand and their brand mesh but not become entangled?
This is a great question. Ultimately, it comes down to I'm known for having very crazy ideas. And I think this is what separates me from a lot of people, especially with degrees. They have more of a cookie cutter method, and it becomes the same. But with me, I'll give you an example. Jay Ellis, he played on Insecure, Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
And he just got actually a lead role for the Rookie spinoff. So I'm very proud of him.
Nice.
But I did his book tour about a year ago. We did like an East Coast book tour. He wrote a book. And we did like New York, Philly, Brooklyn. And the beginning of the tour, we were just doing like basic content. And I remember it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. We was on the way to D.C. and we stopped at this gas station called Rose Farms. It was like a big chain out there. And I said, Jay, you want to do something crazy? He was like, what you mean?
Wait, what? 3 a.m. at a gas station? What?
So he said, what you got, Nel? And I love Jay for this because he's always open-minded. He had his neck pillow on, hat on, and I also remember I was told him, like, let's go in the gas station and just, like, buy stuff and record. He was like, all right, we can try it.
Okay.
And from there, we ended up going in. He ended up putting his hand in the slushy machine. He ended up getting chips. People said, like, breaking out them in the store, giving them free chicken. But that whole human interaction got so much engagement online. Could have now put a celebrity in a mindset of, like, man, I see him every day. And he was literally at a store I go to for gas in the morning. So I think it comes to really knowing the audience, but also bringing these bigger people down where people realize that they're human too.
I love that. And, you know, especially when you start talking about being your authentic self. When you start talking to the other producers and those who are the editors, I always ask the question, well, how did you decide what was going to hit the cutting room floor? Because to us, all of it's going to be great.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's your story, your art. It's like your child. You can't pick your favorite child. That's what they tell me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'd like to think that I'm my mama's only favorite child, probably because I'm her only. So it makes it easier.
No competition.
You know what I mean? No competition. But when you're creating all of these pieces and this is a little dose of you that you're letting live and giving to the world, how do you decide that, nah, this part ain't going to make it. Ain't going to make the final cut?
This is always very tough because a lot of my clients and I, we debate a lot about this, but it really comes from, I think my creative is shaped from how I grew up. So my morals is certain morals. I have certain guidelines I wouldn't cross. So I think like just raised a certain way, the country mindset, the hardworking mindset, I'm able to really relate to people a lot better. So a lot of clients I work with now, they lose that connection between relating with their audience when they get to a certain level. But I think one of my talents is I'm able to relate to the people that I wouldn't say at the bottom, but people that still really looking up towards you and connect that bridge to make your content a lot more relatable. So that's how I kind of decide what makes the final product, like coming down to morals, coming down to relatability, and coming down what your audience really want to see.
And that's comforting to hear because you don't hear a lot of people saying that they want their career to be led by their morals. And you'll see so many fly by nights or instant gratification or people who are willing to sell their souls. And souls don't cost as much as they used to. Let's be clear on that, right? So it's like they'll do anything just to get in the room, to sit at the table, or to tell a story, even if it's to be first. If it's wrong, it doesn't matter. As long as you say my name, you're saying it. That's a dangerous space to live. Because if you'll sacrifice yourself, no one else can really trust you because you're willing to sacrifice them too. They got next, you know? So while you're working and you're saying you want this moral compass to lead you, now we know who you are. And for those who want to work with somebody that's going to at least hold them accountable, give them some type of a template that's saying, this is where we are. These are some metrics that we can use. You know, I think that's a good business model that a lot of people have gotten away from.
I agree. I definitely agree. One thing I hold on to, I'm definitely rooted with God as my foundation in the Word. I hold on to the verse of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 8, and it says the end matter is better than the beginning.
I like that.
So ultimately, even when we go to the Bible where we see Adam and Eve, they started off with a very good work, but they end up falling. King Solomon started building God's temple, but end up falling. So even in my life, like I see a lot of people start off with God strong, but as they get busier, they start changing in a sense, stop going to church, stop praying, because their life got overwhelmed by their business or their career.
Work became God.
Work became God. That became their idol, and I never wanted to showcase that image. I was actually reading a tweet this morning by Young Boy, and he actually tweeted, like, he's very sad. He was like, ultimately, my life is perfect. I think something is wrong with me. I'm not happy. So you can see somebody with all the success, all these things in the world that you want, the tours, the money, the cars, but they're still not happy. You got to ask, what are they missing? What is the thing that the void they're trying to fill is not being filled? So yes, my answer is God, and I think that's why I can take on so much. It's truly not my strength doing these things. From managing a team, managing 20 clients, managing tours is not really my strength. I wake up every day wondering, how can I overcome? But it all comes from God.
I love that. And knowing that your growth has inspired so many others, not just to find their voice and their level of creativity, but to branch out and to do this for real, like an entrepreneur. And I heard you mention team. I'm excited to hear that word because for a while, you know, it was a one-man, two-band show. It was you, I would see your uncle, and then next thing you know, I see like this mass body of work. But now knowing that you have a team, that means that you're stepping into a mentor role. How is it that you select that team? Because everybody want to be a part of the party. Everybody want to be on the camera. But what about those who got to do the work that's never seen on the camera? Are they willing to work just as hard?
So it's definitely a learning process. Even being very new to this myself, becoming a leader this upcoming year, and bringing on this team, I had to reflect a lot personally. Because being a leader, yes, if a team, your members don't do something wrong, you never want to put it on them. You got to ask yourself as a leader, what could I have done to better prepare them? So it's been a personal journey as well as me growing as a leader, because I always self-reflect on myself and my actions. Like, Nel, am I being individualistic in this current moment? Because as you said, it was a one-man band for a round. So ultimately, I had to really learn how to get out of that one-man band mindset and how to really break down this food to the team so they can understand, if it is at a kindergarten level, how do I do this as a leader? So when it comes to bringing people on, it really starts from morals. What kind of person you are? How can you take correction? How can you take learning new things? How do you get when you're back against the wall? So these things that seem like small characteristics, and you have these small mindsets, if you're not trained in these things, I'll help you and help you grow with it. It really comes down to your person, your morals, and if you're willing to learn new things and branch out.
Absolutely. And when you're picking on these new clients, tell us a little bit about what the clients should expect. At what point of their business should they say, I need to reach out to Nel and his team to take me next level?
When one point of your business should reach out to Nel and Two Famous Studios,
beep, 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 beep.
I think you need to reach out when you feel like you're at a place where you want to go to that next level. I wouldn't say, yes, the beginner stages as far as still laying your foundation, still trying to create your social media pages. But when it comes to you want to brand and reach your audience where you feel like you're at a stagnant spot, you've tried other marketing agencies before, you don't feel like your money is a bank for its buck, we're a good innovation team that comes in and do something you never seen before. And I said, our method is not cookie cutter. It's all tailored to your business, to your brand.
Right.
Like I work with the school board now, I work with politicians now, and I personally go in and do research myself because I have great ideas of my own. But if I understand your niche and your market, I can adapt a lot better to help it grow at a lot efficient pace.
And when you say innovative, people might be afraid to try new things. This social media, and of course, this is a little gadget that everybody's walking around with in their hands now. It's how we find what we want. It's how the things we don't want probably find us. So how important is it that we're on these platforms and that we're actually putting our best foot and image forward?
So it's very important to be in a part of the social media world now. Even if you're a business that's local, it could take you to so many different places you never would have imagined than you could do 20 years ago. Like you could have a client in California now, a client in New York now, off of seeing one certain video. But what's more important now is more the data. So I've been preaching this to a lot of my clients lately. Like actually, you think about these big companies, like for instance, insurance agencies. Yes, State Farm is insurance, but they're not really an insurance agency. They own data. That's what makes them so valuable. They have many people data. They have many people emails, many people contacts. So similar, you want to run your business the same way. You have people emails information. You can always reach back out in the future to get them back as a customer, check back in on them. So that's what I've been adapting my clients to lately, more of the data reach. Yes, the content is cool, but if I don't have nothing capturing the people data from this content, an email list, an SMS list, it's really worthless at the end of the day. So it's a lot bigger than just content, but content is the funnel that gets them to their data.
Let's just say that we have the data. Now we're looking at the creatives. We really want to reach out to your team. How is it that we can reach you, and what level of professionalism do you want us to have as a client before we even get on your doorstep?
So yes, you would like to reach us as a team. Firstly, professionalism. Yes, I'm a very easy person to work with. Long as you have great energy, I love smiles. A simple EM like, "Hey Nel, I would like a quote. I like to work with you. I like to set up a consultation." Any of these language will work perfectly. But yes, at Two Famous Studios, that's TOOFAMOUSSTUDIO. On Instagram, obviously, you can click the link, fill out the consultation form, get a quote form, email, phone number is all of this link in the bio.
That's right. And of course, you'll find him at all of the events. He's never hard to find out in these streets. And if you had that one thing that's on your wish list for 2026, what would it be? Here's my magic wand. We're just going to swirl it around. What does that look like for now?
My wish list is to expand. It's been a while. I love Louisiana a lot. That's why I never moved. I feel like there's so much potential and growth here that people kind of pass up on. Honestly, people tell me all the time, like, "Nel, what you're doing in Louisiana?" I thought I had to move to ever get that. Now they're in New York and LA trying to do the same thing. But now I want to actually test my talents in other places, other states. So I could bring it back to Louisiana. Because Louisiana, when it comes to certain things, they're slightly behind. So what they're doing on LA, New York, Atlanta might be ahead, but I can always take and bring back here to apply to clients and apply to myself to grow. So that's on my wish list this upcoming year, to expand, start really put myself in position to grow a lot more. So if I grow, the team grow, and the client's business grow as well.
Absolutely. And this is an extension of your office. So whenever you have anything going on, feel free to come down the street, jump in a hot seat on the tan line, and let's make it happen.
I love it. I love it. Yes, you're a hop and skip away. And yes, hopefully my talking got better than the last time I was on here.
You are thebomb.com, but don't you dare let them tell you different, okay?
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I know you have more work to do, so I'm going to let you chase the sun or let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.